the further one. Yeah, oh, this one. So turning today's top video content challenges into tomorrow's opportunities for publishers. So the video I took last night, yesterday, doesn't apply because it's only for today, right?
Well,
I'm kidding.
why don't you talk a little bit about that video you took last night?
Well, I did take a video last night. I was at a country bar, was watching all these people do country dancing, and I shot this video, I posted it, and Denver News picked it up. So is that the type of content we're talking about?
Well, it is and it isn't. I think the important thing to understand is that there is a scarcity of content, quality content, and every piece of content has a unique value, and I think understanding what the value of your content is a good step.
Okay.
So we'll see. Maybe you'll get a lot of views. Perhaps YouTube will start monetizing it for you.
Yeah, well.
We'll have to view it at the cocktails later tonight.
Yes, we will.
Yep.
I will show you that video.
I'm sure everyone will like to see that.
So with this, what are some of the challenges for today's video and the content? So.
Yeah, so I think that the biggest challenges today that we're seeing in video, especially from the monetization perspective, is number one, this always comes up, people ask, how is it going in video? We hear there's a big scarcity of content. That is true. There's not necessarily scarcity as much of content as there is a scarcity of quality content. So that's definitely a big issue. Like in display and in other formats, we're also, viewability is a huge issue right now, something that we've been on the forefront in getting accreditation for, but is definitely something that is a huge issue facing video. And then thirdly, again, which I think is facing all digital, is just the traffic quality from both the ad quality side as well as the supply side.
Okay, so 3 challenges. Let's break those down. So scarcity and quality of video. How can publishers here in the audience help their advertisers, the brands, the retailers, create better content?
Yep. Yeah, I think first it's important to understand why it's a challenge. So in the display world, if you want to create additional content, you have the opportunity to add a piece of real estate to your site and hire writers, like what you guys do, and put content on the site. If you think about it, video, we're talking about sight, sound, and motion. We're talking about TV-like experiences. There's production costs. And again, this is something that the ads are played in play. So it's a lot more complicated in terms of just creating content quickly. That said, some publishers are doing some syndication models, which are allowing their content to be spread across additional viewers. And then there's obviously the viral factor, where there's a lot of UGC content as well, some of which is evaluated as quality, and some may not as much. But your video was pretty good.
So going to the next challenge, viewability.
Yes.
How can publishers help in the viewability? Are there new technologies, new platforms to use?
Yep. Yeah, and I think, again, the biggest challenge in viewability in video, like in other formats, is that there's not really one standard that we're leveraging as a basis for how we're judging viewability. So one thing we know, advertisers all want viewability. We know that, but they don't necessarily know what that means or what they want. And I think the historical lack of standards in evaluating viewability has made it a little bit more confusing. The new MRC accreditation is definitely a step in the right direction, but not all the players are going to adopt that. So I think the more that we can have a consistent measurement of what viewability means, I think we're all going to be in a much better place there.
Okay. And the last one, traffic.
Traffic quality.
Audience quality.
Yes. So it's interesting. So I started my digital career in search, where I think we invented traffic quality problems, or the evil players did. So it's definitely been something that has been in the industry for a long, long time. We really weren't seeing it as much in video until recently. I think obviously with the high CPMs that video commands, we're definitely a good place for these issues to arise. So I think there's a couple things publishers can do. So if you're buying traffic, for instance, we tend to see a lot of we look at these numbers a lot. So there's different reasons why a publisher, a good publisher, may have some traffic coming in that is poor quality. So number one, if you're buying traffic, you want to be really careful about who you're buying traffic from, holding your vendors accountable, your partners accountable. Really looking at the metrics. There's a lot of data. Make sure that you're leveraging the third-party verification platforms like the Double Verify and Moat and Integral Ad Science. And the one I met in the van today, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. But you definitely want to be leveraging those and looking to see like where is my good traffic coming from, and where is the traffic that isn't as good. And part of that too might be educating the partners that you're working with, because they may be acting in a way that they're trying to do the right thing, and some of the nefarious actors come in. So I think it's a lot of us, working together, looking at the data, and really trying to identify, where the good traffic is. I think the best traffic we see, it comes from high-quality publishers that are running owned and operated traffic. That's not to say that if you don't fall into that category, you're not going to have high-quality traffic. It's just there's a scale there.
So with all three challenges, which advertiser out there is working with a publisher that's doing it right?
Right. So I think one that comes to mind for sure, and I actually, when we were talking about the scarcity of content, I forgot to mention a couple things that publishers are doing in addition to syndicating. Some publishers are actually going out and buying additional content that fits their site. So for instance, Chris was just up here from USA Today Sports. They've done a really good job. Instead of focusing on just the national news, the national sports, they're actually going out to some of these smaller creators that they have more of a local feel and a local play that's still highly engaging for the audience, but maybe isn't the typical place that we would think of to get sports content. In terms of an advertiser, I'm not sure, did any of you guys see that Taco Bell short form video this week? It was featured in Ad Age as like the video or the ad of the week. It's kind of dark. It's a little weird, but it was a 3-minute video, and Ad Age wrote it up as the top video of the week, and they're getting a ton of viral views. So what they did, the important thing is they created something that we forget when we're looking at all the numbers. We forget. We still want to be looking at experiences that are engaging to the users. So they did a great job of creating an engaging experience that has gone viral, and they're getting media placements all over that they're not paying for, because that video is all over. So definitely.
And that was commercial.
It was a commercial.
Wow. So do we have any questions from the audience?
All right.
Okay.
We're the only thing standing between the audience and the cocktail reception.
Oh, yes.
But if there are any questions, now's the chance. Okay. Well,
Okay.
Thank you guys. It was a really good session. I would also note. Actually,